up, guys? I'm gonna show you how I do a split family setup. You could see here a split tree. We're gonna do the tree of life in a Celtic setup. I'll probably end up making this in a vcarve of some sort, something like that. So I just went to Google, search tree of life, Celtic, go to images. I find an image that I like, which I like this one. So I go to save image as, and I'm done on that. Now, go over here. I open my image. I like paint.net, as you guys have seen. I click on the wand tool, hit shift on the keyboard, select all the gray. I then hit Control I to invert. I pick my paint tool. My primary color is black. I set this to 500 just because I make it quick and easy. I then Control I to invert, and I have my secondary color set as white. So on the mouse I click the right button. Alright, we now have a full black and white. I'll click over here just to make sure. We lost a lot of detail. This is a small image, so you put shit in, you get shit out. That's what I was always taught. I would have searched for a better vector, or I would have made a vector. We're going to resize this to 300. We're going to put it at 6 inches. Okay, you could see how pixelated it is. It's not going to turn out to be a very good setup. If I was doing this in real life, I would actually take time to probably retrace this or find a better beginning image. But being tutorial, I'll just go ahead and do it for you. We're going to save this. It's already a JPEG, so I like that. Now we're going to go over to here. We're going to do it in vcarve. I'd probably do this in a different setup myself. We're going to make the stock 18 inches by 18 inches by 0.5 inches. Okay. We're going to import. We're going to do this. We're going to vectorize it. We're going to go black and white. All of that looks good. Preview it. Apply it. Close it. I just clicked on the vector, hit M on the keyboard to move the vector out of the way, delete the original. We're going to select the vector. It's all grouped right now. We're going to go over to align objects, and the ones on the white will align it to the actual stock material. So I click center. I now go up to transform. These are my measurements. I want this to be a finished 16-inch piece. Remember, we have an 18-inch square. So we'll close that. Now, I am going to go to rectangle. We want our width to be 16 inches. Our height to be, let's say, 1/4 inch. We want our beginning point to be lower left corner, and we want it at the 0, 0 point. Okay, we created a new vector right down here on the bottom of the part. So we'll close that. I'll now click on the vector, M for move. I'll move that. Let's go ahead, and with that selected, I'm going to go over to align objects. with a horizontal alignment. Okay, that's centered. Now we're going to move that up a little bit more. Okay. I would say that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go to offset distance 1.25. That'll be the height of the family name. Let's go 1.5. Okay. I have my vector selected. Let's offset that. Okay. That's not going to work. Oh, I don't want to offset that. I want to copy it and move it. Okay. So I select the vector on the keyboard, hit Control C for copy, Control V for paste, go over to transform, move, and that's my center. So now I want to move relative because I want to move from this point down, and I'm going to be moving in the Y direction. I'm going to move it 1.5 inches negative because I'm going down from this point. I'm going to apply it. We're going to close it. Now I have a setup that I can zoom in on. You guys can see how pixelated the transfer was. That's going to show up in your spots whenever you carve that. That's not going to be very good, but you know, you can fix that. We'll do a video on how to fix that. So now I'm going to open all this up and connect the geometry. I'm going to go to scissors. Let's see here. Why is that not letting me? Oh, because it's grouped. So I gotta click on the tree vector, ungroup it on that side. Now go to clip. There we go. Okay. Now we want to take everything out. So now we're just opening up that center section. Control Z to undo. Zoom in. There. Okay. Now what I did there was I just clipped. I trimmed all the vectors to open up this center section, and then I opened up the rectangular vector to the pieces of the tree so that it kind of incorporates it into the design. We'll close out of that. We'll zoom out to the material. If these are your zoom buttons up here at the top, almost center, if you hit this center, that's the drawing. So it'll actually go to the largest height or width and put it on your screen. Now I can zoom to a selected object. So if I select this and I click this, that'll zoom it in a little bit more for me. Now you can see I can put a name or something in here. We're going to do the same thing we did before. I actually don't like this height here. I think it should be a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and go through everything again. And this is part of design. Let's move this down relative from where it's at. Let's move it down another inch. So -1 inch. Apply. Okay, now we're looking good. That gives us a little bit more room for the family name. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to go through all of the trim selection again. So we'll do that, ungroup it. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, Control Z. We're going to do this, do this, do this. This, do this, do this. Now I right click out of it, select this vector, delete on the keyboard, select this vector, delete on the keyboard. Now I have a smooth setup. Select this vector, delete, delete, delete. Okay, that's joined. That's joined. So now the program is actually going to generate a toolpath to go through here and tie all of this in. Okay. So now let's Control Z. Let's go here. We're just gonna create a boundary box. I created a new boundary box and I'm going to zoom in on it. I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to bring this up just a hair over, about halfway up there and about halfway down here, and I'm going to deselect it. Now I have a boundary box and I'm going to click on this boundary box. I'm going to go over to draw text within vector box, and our family name is Croft, so I'm going to type C-R-O-F-T. That looks kind of cool. You know, you can check out. Oh, that does not look good. You can check out a couple different fonts. I don't know that I'm going to find anything I'm going to like that's going to be a Celtic type. I want something almost... Oh, here we go. Nope. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't know that I like that. I like the design. There we go. That looks kind of cool. Okay. Let's see. I think we're going to bold it. I think we're going to go there. Let's stretch our characters. Let's stretch the characters. Okay, that allowed me to go over there. I like the look of that, so I'm going to close out of that. I'm going to zoom in on this. We have coverage here, here. You could see our boundary boxes here. So all of these letters overlap this geometry here and here. Okay. I like that. So now, before we put the Croft name in there, we could have saved this as a template, and now you have a whole new template like the last video I showed you. On this one, however, we'll just do this. Now we need to select the font, go over here to convert to curves, and all of that is pretty good. What I'm looking for is in the R's and the O's. If there's an opening, you have to deselect those by hitting Shift and clicking on them to turn them to a black line. Okay. So now I want to combine the Croft name and the rectangular geometry here. So we're going to do that, and we're going to weld. and that makes it all one piece there. And we're going to go over here, and all that's selected. We're going to select this lower geometry, and we're going to weld again. Now we're going to open that up, and now we have a Croft split family name Celtic tree of life sign design. And that's pretty much it. At this point, you can vcarve, you can pocket, you can do whatever you choose, you see fit. It's kind of a cool setup. If you wanted to vcarve this, you could offset these so that they were just single lines, and actually vcarve it and have that as a nice tapered wall. You could go to a single line font and whatnot. With this, I was just doing something to kind of show you guys. You could go with a profile cut on this. So if you go over to the geometry, select this, you can profile cut it, you can vcarve it. Let's see what it would look like vcarved. Start depth, flat depth, 0.125. And that's what that would look like V-carved with that flat depth. That doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. So that's your guys's setup. Actually, let's see what it would look like in a profile. Let's reset the preview. Let's play through that. So that's a profile setup. That's kind of weird looking. Cool. What we could do is actually paint this, mask it off with Aura Mask 851 or 831, I think it is. I'd have to get back to you on that. But we would mask it off, do our cut. That would be an open wood grain. You can either stain it, you can paint into it, and then get color so you have multiple colors. I could probably do this in a nice Celtic green and like a signal white in the profile carving, and go from there. So let's go back to the 2D. Okay, I like that. That looks good. Let's export this as a PDF. Export. We'll just save it as a new. I'm not going to save this because the geometry is really off. We're going to go through what we did yesterday with the Vinyl Master. We'll open a new tool. I don't know why my program keeps defaulting to millimeters and not saving. We're going to import. We're going to import that, accept. Okay. We're going to go to zoom tool, to all. Okay. Now I'm going to color this. So we were thinking white on that. So let's do, how can we do this? What do I want to do here? let's take this to 0, take this to 0. Let's bump this up to 18 and this up to 18. Let's now arrange this to align center to page. Okay, we basically have exactly what we did in the vcarve setup. So fill on. Okay. And layout. This is one part where I haven't done too much in terms of using the background uniform color. Let's go with a Celtic green. Okay, and there you go. That's what you can end up with as a let's see here, as a full design with the green and the white. I think that looks pretty good. I might actually make that. I might do the work to it and make that for my wall. Maybe do it in a different color, maybe in a black and white or a maroon and white. Let's set background on that. Page there. Let's go with a maroon. Ooh, there we go. Maroon or burgundy. I like that. Okay. So we'll keep going and play around with that. And that kind of concludes our video for today. So without further ado, I'll talk to you later.